One, two. One, two. All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Those are backwards. Race fans, welcome to the 7th round of the Performance Racing League. This is the Premier Tier. We are in Canada. I'm TAC Delta. With all the introductions out of the way, grab your poutine and your Yukon Jack, and maybe also a blanket or a Carhartt jacket, as we're going to be in the wet for qualifying. All the drivers stunned into the pit lane with the wet weather. Curious if we will have a dry race or not. Let me see if I can get to my weather sources. Got a few drivers coming out to the track now. Let's see. Looks like Turtle Hopper is going to be the first one out on the track, which makes sense. It is a wet track, and turtles typically enjoy the wet over the dry. So Turtle Hopper going to take that papaya-colored McLaren around a wet Canada track. Drivers on the intermediates, so not too much standing water. They may be able to clear it out. I don't think we'll see dry tires if the water continues to come down. That is a beautiful Armcore board. Anyway, back to the car. Let's ride on board and just see how well Turtle Hopper is handling this mighty beast of a car. No problem through the hairpins. They come out onto the straight. The back straight. Gonna approach brakes at about the 100 for the Wall of Champions. There's 2 curbs. No wall kisses today. And he'll start his flying lap now. So Turtle Hopper continuing, actually seeing, oh, he's already invalidated. Pardon me for staying with old action. Let's see if we can get down to GK base, I think is the next. Nope, he's invalidated as well. Right. How about Zeman? Zeman's invalidated. Rusty? Ah, good old Rusty. I knew he could keep it on the track. Setting the best first sector thus far. We've got multiple drivers reserving up. Those of you who have kept up with the Performance Racing League might know that Rusty is typically a member of Tier 1, but he is currently reserving up into Premier in the Alfa Romeo. So a teammate of mine, but we won't show any bias on the stream. Much more professional than that. Rusty's getting ready to come across the line with a 120.8 for the first lap in the wet. Alright, so now with all the administratives taken care of, let's see who else we have. Moist has just invalidated, but it's going to start a new lap. Little Moist fish with a little bit of a swim coming out of the corner there. And Tetcher putting in a 118.9, so Pretty significant improvement over Rusty's time. That's to be expected throughout qualifying as the track continues to dry up. The more drivers that get out there, the drier the line becomes. So it really could come down to just whoever is the last one onto the track has a pretty good shot at pole position. Let's see, is that... No. Jesper's not quite across the line yet. We'll see who else. So that's Kelsey's just behind Jesper. So we'll watch Jesper come across at a time. Really slow through that chicane. I don't think this is going to be on the pace. And it is not with a 122. But Jesper's got plenty of time to recover that. How about Kelsey's? Kelsey's not much better with a 130 exactly. Incredible. Alright, who else do we have out? Let's catch back up with Moistfish, who we abandoned previously. And Moistfish takes it up into the 5th position with a 119.7. Seeing a lot of drivers file into the 19-second range. A few, well, one ahead and a few behind. We'll probably, I think we'll see most drivers get into the 18s once the line starts to dry up. So the weather report that I've gotten thus far in this race, I believe we will have a dry start to the race, but potential for rain as we go on with, let's see, Victor coming up here into... No, Victor set that time a while ago. Sorry, I just saw an update up here. It must have been GK Base putting it up into 3rd position. On 3-lap intermediates, so tire deg, not as much of an issue in the wet. We see Steinmine has the soft tires on. We have to get caught up with that. Still sitting in the pit lane, so maybe just a joke. I don't think we're gonna get dry enough for soft tires. We've got Giannis here. Sorry, G Ennis. Absolutely no relation whatsoever to the other Ennis. They are definitely not brothers, not related by any sense, any form. Right, and G Ennis with the 128, I think it had an invalidation because that was not recorded. Looks like Tar Heel's also sitting on the soft tires, so not sure if this is a UI glitch or the driver's being a little silly. And there's Tar Heel's back onto the inters. How about it, Z-Man? What does he have to show us? And he just tips toes between those two curbs there. Runs up to the line. It's going to be a little slow, but he does have a lap time in. That's what's important. Let's see who else we have out on the track. I think there's the McLaren of Jesse Force giving it a run. We saw his teammate Turtle Hopper, that was the first one out. So we'll see what Jesse can show us now. And there's the Ferrari of GNS going up to with a 118.5 up onto pole. But Jesse Force is not far behind. Not far behind at all, as Jesse Force steals away the pole with a 118.3. So well done to him. He's got a Aston Martin right behind him. Just coming out of the pits though, so no worries. This is an outlap. No worries of impedance, and if I know Jesse will probably let him slide by here on the straight. So a few drivers sitting in the pits still on the soft tires. That's Moist, who's definitely still in the pits, and Stein also on the softs. These drivers may be waiting for it to clear up right at the end and see if they can brave the soft tire. If you can, you have a chance of, coming out and setting a 115 compared to everybody else's 118. I don't have as much confidence as they that the track will dry up, but that's okay. Inez is invalidated, but looks like they may be winding up for another lap here. All right. Apologies for that. Let's get on. So we're back with Turtle Hopper now. Let's see how Turtle Hopper handles the hairpin now that it's dried up a bit. Inez is retired. Is that into the pit lane? No, it is not. So Inez, I'm guessing, got a little slippery, and these cars right in the middle of the track. And Turtle Hopper's slowed up. Not sure what's happened here. Maybe preparing for another lap. Trying to spin the tires, maybe get a little heat back there. Not sure what's going on. We'll come back and catch up with him later. Let's see. How about Callie Robb, who looks to be on 5-lap intermediates currently? Callie Robb is going to be looking to push that 117 mark. Gets into the 118s. That would have been good enough about 10 minutes ago. But the track is dried up some. Wait. Do we see? No. Some of these drivers, they have lap times and soft tires on, but not on track. Right, Victor is actually on pole now with a 117.1, so that's quite a ways up. Much farther than I had thought we would see. But with a 117.1, I mean, one would think maybe able to see something into the 16s if the track will dry a little bit more. Looks like most drivers are going to come into the pits and just hang out and wait for the final run here. Because why be out there drying the track for your competitors when you can wait and let them do it for you? Dr. Fleek across the line, also breaking into the 17s with a 117.6. Well done to Dr. Fleek. Now the question will be, is he able to get back around into the pit lane, fresh tires back out on the track? I don't think so. But we'll see. I am open to surprises. Looks like Jesse's coming out. He's got fresh tires. It's a slow lap. Well off the pace there from Jesse. How about the teammate from Turtle Hopper? Oh, he's sliding, but he keeps it under control. Wow. Amazing to see that. Let's get some different views, yeah? It's Turtle Hopper here coming underneath, going through the tunnel there. Rides the curves beautifully. Gonna come down to the hairpin here. Gets it down into second, all the way to first. His foot flat to the floor. Just gonna run up the gears now. Get to 8th gear, and now you just hold it straight on the straight. He's out of battery, so that's not good. It may, oh, he's into the pits. Okay, doesn't matter. So he will be putting on fresh tires and hoping to come back out. How about his teammate Jesse, who should be on a faster lap now? Goes through there, avoids the wall of champions, avoids most of the curbing as well. But Jesse's looking good for a 117 flat. So Jesse Force, well done, bringing it up to a 117. If you round it to 0.1, so not flat, apologies. A lot of drivers sitting in the pits on soft tires. I don't think it's going to be dry enough. It doesn't look like it's dry enough for those soft tires, but we'll certainly be entertained to watch them come out. Looks like Rusty has come out now onto some fresh intermediates. Can we get to him? Okay, we don't want Dr. Fluke. He's in the pit lane. We want Rusty, who's on an outlap. So you can see water still being kicked up onto the camera here. Some of that's from the tires, but some of it's also coming down from the sky. Just a little sprinkle of rain. Here we go. Apologies, Rusty, to leave the attention, but GNS is what we're looking for now. One of the first out with the soft tires, I believe. I don't think there's anybody else on softs ahead of him. Except, no, Stein is actually on a lap, it looks like, with these tires. And he's in traffic, too. No good. No good at all. There's a Haas in the way that was also on the soft tires. That would have been the Haas of Moist Fish. So let's see. Stein with a 22.6 in the first sector, and it's purple on the minimap. So the soft tires is the way to go. The drivers have proven me wrong yet again. How dare I doubt the premier tier drivers? I should just leave them alone. They know what they're doing. So we'll see. I don't think Stein got the best second sector, so maybe a little struggle through there. Steinmine coming up to the line, and it looks like it's going to be slow, actually. So Stein a little bit slower on the soft tire. It looks like it's actually at a pretty decent crossover. Jesse has retired from pole. Victor trying to get some heat in the tires, so we'll come back to that later. Only Tetcher out. It looked like he had improved when I first pulled on, but we shall see here. Ooh, yeah, that's going to be an invalidation. He took way too much out of that curb. So this qualifying is going to be over for only Tetcher. Victor is out. And again, it looks like Victor does have Sector 1 purple. Kelsey's on the intermediates. It's a 116.3, blowing Jesse Force out of the water. So I think that lap might tell us that the intermediates are the best tire right now. We'll see what Victor can do about it. Victor is the next one up. He's purple in the second sector. He's down 1.5 seconds on his current time. That would put him at a 16.1, no, a 15.4. Oh, and he spun it. I think Victor had a chance, but he just got a little too antsy on the throttle. I think Victor could have had that pole. Who's behind him there? Not sure. It's a Williams? Is it Adri? No. Who is that? It's not Stein's car. I believe it was Shep. Shep on the intermediates. What's Shep able to do? Coming towards the line, cruising in at a 117.4. That's enough to put Shep up into 6th position. And Moist Fish has taken pole on the soft tire with a 116.1. Dr. Fleek on the soft tire with a 15.3. So the soft tires definitely proving that they are the better tire right at the end of qualifying. The drivers keep coming across the line, going faster and faster each time. That's Adri with a 15.2. He was topped by Bass with a 14.7. So GK Bass will take pole position. Well done with the judgment on the soft tire. All the more credit to GK Bass. I saw him start on the intermediate, so putting in a smart banker lap and coming through, clutching up on the soft tire. So well done. Let's take you through the grid order. So the top 4 set on soft tires. That will be GK Bass, G Ennis, Apologies. Adri and Dr. Fleek. Lining up on the third row, you have Calcies and Moist Fish, a mix of the intermediate and soft. Another mix of intermediate and soft is Cali Rob and Tar Heels. Jesse Force and Victor will line up on the fifth row. 80 Shep and Tetcher will take the sixth row. Rusty Oil Can and Turtle Hopper on the seventh. Steinmine and Zeman will follow with Jesper and Inez rounding out the grid. Inez not setting a lap time. Right, so that is your qualifying order. That will be your grid lineup for the race. Just a repeat of what we've seen for the weather. I believe we can expect a dry start to the race, and it may go wet, it may not. I think there's a little bit of weather uncertainty there. All right. So, if you are new to the Performance Racing League, we typically try to give our drivers 2 minutes prior to the start of the race to set their strategies, take any last-minute comfort breaks, get a sip of water, whatever it may be. And similarly, here in commentary, I think we will take a quick little break, but I will be back with you for the formation lap. Right, so we have the drivers starting out on the formation lap. Let's get our tires pulled up and see what everybody's deciding to run. I'm going to take a wild guess and say it's a combination of mediums and hards. Right, so we'll run through them. GK Base and G Ennis on the mediums, followed by Adrian Fleek on the hard tires. We've got Calcies on the mediums, Moist and Cali on the hards. Tar Heels picking up the medium tire in the Alpine, Jesse Force on the hard tire. Victor in mediums with Shep, Tetcher, and Rusty running on the hard tire. And you finish out the last 5 on the grid in the medium tire. So this checks out, especially with some of the weather forecasts that have come in. I expect to see the drivers on the hard tire try to go until the weather changes. If we're going to see some change, I don't know. The skies are cloudy. They're not pretty blue skies, but it is still fairly bright out here on the track. So we'll see. Weather can change in just a minute, so we'll sit tight and watch. As the drivers are now coming back up to the grid, everybody hopefully has good and toasty tires. We'll watch GK Base's parking ability and judge. No pressure to GK Base. See how well he can park the car. Can he get to the grid spot? He does the tire spin. He's slowly inching towards. Wow, exquisite parking. This is what we come to the Performance Racing League for, is to watch drivers park on the grid. This is incredible. By far one of the best parking jobs I've ever seen in the Performance Racing League. Right, and with that we have everybody on the grid. So, let's get our 5 red lights. We'll stay on board with GK Base for the runaway. The 5 lights are out and they are away. GK Base getting a decent start and getting onto the battery right away. Drivers coming into turn 1 here. Looks like everybody's going to get through clean. I don't see any mistakes yet. No spins. There is some yellow out there. I see a few cars sitting in the back. So it looks like that is Tar Heels, who has gotten tangled up. Dropped all the way down to the back of the grid. Unfortunate for him. Let's jump back up to our leaders here. Predicted pit stop strategy from our friends at Amazon. It's a hard onto the mediums midway through, or a medium soft. I doubt we'll see that strategy from the drivers. But that's what they predict, so we'll go on. Looks like GK Base is pulled out, only 6/10, so he's got a little ways to go before he can fully get out of the DRS. Looks like Callie, Rob, and Victor are battling. Let's see if we can get on board with that race. They're coming straight down into the hairpin. Callie, Rob will have the outside. Oh, we're going 3 wide into the hairpin, and everybody holding firm. So Callie Rob lost the position to Victor fully there, but they all 3 survived, so great to see. Callie Rob just trying to survive on the hard tire. He's still got some temperature to find in there, whereas I believe Victor and Turtle Hopper have a little bit more temperature in the tire right now with the softer compound. Let's jump up with, where are we here? Kelsey's, give me Kelsey's. Kelsey's closing up on the 2 in the lead. It looks like Moist Fish has had a spin. He's dropping positions fast. Just recovering those hard tires afterward. They're a little cold, so can have some problems getting through. Rusty Oil Can picking up a 3-second penalty. 4-track limits already. That's very out of character for Rusty. But if Rusty gets to 3 seconds, I'm sure we'll see plenty throughout the grid as we go on to the race. Let's get with Adri here, who's closing up on Dr. Fleek. Both on the hard tire. You can see the drivers on the medium tire starting to run away, but the drivers of the hards are not too far behind. All it takes is one incident. And I see some yellows. Oh, that's a great view right there. I think we see Rusty getting a little loose back there. He's lost a few more positions. Let's get back with Jesse and Adri running not quite, well, nose to tail. Doesn't get much closer than that. Let's see how they go through the chicane. Adri's going to pull out. Smart move. We're only on lap 2 at 35. Got plenty of time to go. And that's Victor pulling up alongside Adri. Victor's going to have the inside. Is he going to take advantage of it? Oh, they're close. Adri runs out just a little bit, but you'd expect that. So Victor's going to slot in behind. He's going to wait for a better opportunity. Wise move, wise move. Driver's putting on an excellent performance so far. Definitely not the race I thought we were going to have today. Loving to see this. A close battle. Full grid. Almost full grid. We see Moist Fish coming out of the pits now onto the medium tire. So discarding the hards. He's had enough of them already. He wants mediums. Probably had some wing damage too. Apologies to keep jumping around. Oh, that's Adri running really long. Victor trying to get up the inside, take advantage of it. Not successful yet, but he will have a slipstream. I don't know if DRS is online, so Adri's going to have it. Victor's going to have it. They both have it. Victor's got the tires, though, and I think he's going to clear Adri. Adri's just going to slot in behind and accept the overtake. Better to let yourself get overtaken and survive the rest of the race than to push the issue and take both yourselves out and pick up a few penalty points. So we still see the three up here at the front on the medium tire. They have run away with the race, pulling about 3 seconds out on the hard tire runners behind. They need to keep widening that gap to make it to the pit stops to not lose their position. Or if there's weather, they will be in trouble because the hard tire runners, I think, can make it to the end of the weather or to when the rain may or may not start. Whereas the medium tire runners are anticipating it just not starting, or maybe going medium and having enough pace to outpace the one pit stop that they'll take over the hard tire runners. So we'll see how that develops. Let's get back with Adrian and Victor and maybe just stay with these guys for a little while longer. They are out here to put on a show. And that's Jesse actually making the move on Dr. Fleek just ahead. So, Victor behind one of the medium tire runners. Victor starting to make moves through the pack. Did not have the greatest qualifying, but is showing some race pace here on the medium tire. He's going to throw it up the inside of Dr. Fleek. That's an easy move. He's going to hold the inside. Fleek's got no shot on that. And Victor's going to chase down Jesse. The question is Victor going to be able to catch up to the medium tire runners ahead, and how much of his own tires is that going to cost him? I don't know the answer to this, but we'll find out as we go along. Turtle Hopper, meanwhile, closing up on Adri now. He'll get a little bit of help from the DRS, but so will Adri. Yes, confirmed that the DRS is open. Right, and they're going to go side by side. Oh, they've certainly touched. That's Adri forced off the track. We may see that in the steward's room later, especially if Adri has picked up a track limits warning for that. They went side by side into the corner. I'm not quite sure who's going to be at fault for that. I'd have to watch it again a few more times. We do not have instant replay functionality, so that's Victor cruising around Jesse. So now Victor's target are the leading pack a mere 4 seconds ahead. Jen is setting the G Ennis. I'm so sorry. I'll get it right eventually. Setting the fastest lap of the race with a 13.5. Victor will look to challenge that, and I think Victor's lap time here will determine whether or not he's going to be able to make it up. That's Steinmein into the pits for the soft tire. Not sure what that's about. He's getting a fresh wing. I don't know that he wanted the soft tires. I don't know how long they'll last, and I don't know if that's going to be enough to get him to the weather, or definitely not to the end of the race. So we'll keep an eye on Steinmein there on the soft tires, see how that develops. So now Adri going to be pushing up on Turtle Hopper. Turtle Hopper on the medium tire. He's going to be looking to join his medium tire brothers up ahead. Right now, I don't think all these drivers are going to have the DRS, so we have a little train forming here in the upper mid-pack. Kelsey's picking up a 3-second time penalty. Victor's closed the gap on those drivers ahead by about 0.3 of a second. And he does set the fastest lap time, so he is faster than the pack ahead of him. But will he be able to catch him before the tires fall off? And then will he have the tires remaining to make something happen from it? I don't know. Looks like Kelsey's has closed up on G Ennis, and we will see. We'll keep an eye on this leading pack here. These three at the head of the race. Any one of them in a position to have a win. Assuming the weather continues to behave. It looks like it's getting a little more overcast. I think the sunshine has disappeared. GK Base picking up a penalty. Steinmein picking up a penalty. Looks like there's something going on here towards the back. We'll jump back up. Kelsey's making the move on G Ennis, and I literally just stole the thunder away. I'm so sorry, Kelsey's. Rusty with another 3-second penalty. And that's Dr. Fleek dropping down. I won't take away any overtakes this time. There goes his teammate there. We'll see where else we can find some action. Maybe G Ennis looking to make a move back on Kelsey's. Looks like we have a battle between teammates here between Cali Rob and Inez. Just regular Inez, no G. Tar Heels busted on speeding into the pit lane. No good for him. Let's see. I believe this is the closest battle on track. We do have Kelsey's making a move on GK base, so we'll get back up with our leading pack here. They've separated a bit from when we caught up with them, so tires starting to reach their cliff point. Some drivers maybe have been pushing a little harder than others. So the pack's starting to spread out. It looks like Adri closing up on Turtle Hopper. Adri with the hard tire. So right now, actually it's Jesse leading the hard tire runners. But we'll stay on board with Adri. I see a speck of rain. So this could be good for the medium tire runners. If the rain comes this early, then they've been able to pull an advantage over the hard tire runners. They've been able to pull the advantage over the hard tire runners without the risk of a pit stop. So well done. The drivers will stay out on the dry tire for a little while longer. The track surface will start to get a little greasy, but they will otherwise not have too many problems. We have a Ferrari on Ferrari battle here. Victor has closed the gap between the leading pack of mediums. And he will cruise on past his teammate G. Ennis. Looks like they played nice there, so maybe a little bit of team orders. But that's fine. All is fair in war and love and racing. That's inherently not true. Moving on, so Kelsey's closing up on GK base. And I believe drivers will still have DRS, so we'll see if he's able to use that coming up. That's Fleek with another 3-second penalty, so they're starting to roll in now. And Kelsey's getting a little loose. He keeps it under control, though. That's the effect of the rain plus the worn down tires. I'm not sure how much longer these mediums are expected to last. I believe the race strategy gave a pit stop at around the 20th lap, which might be a little late, I would think. Maybe that was for hard on the medium, not sure. There's GK Base taking a bite out of the wall. Does he have any damage from it? We'll be able to see it on this side here. I don't think so. Nothing on the wing. The floor looked decent. Maybe if we're lucky, yeah, we'll get another view here. Let's take a look at the floor. Of course, we can't see the floor. And this is the wrong side. So, we're going to say the GK Base is probably fine, as he made it through there just fine. Getting a little help here into the commentary booth, so the mediums will last for about 15 laps. Which puts these medium drivers in good position, because I think in about 5 laps time, if the rain keeps up like it is, I don't think any of the drivers will want to be on dry tires. We'll see. You could probably make it run for another 5, but beyond that, I don't know that they will want much more. Rain, as they say, is the great equalizer. Shet picking up the 3-second penalty now. Great camera view from the front of Victor's car right here. Right next to the antenna. You can see just how close he got to the curving there. Victor now chasing down the medium tire runners ahead. Victor's going to be on Kelsey's. And I have to look, I think Jesper has, no. Somebody's had a spin towards the back. I believe that was Stein on the soft tire. Jesper is the first to strike, going on to the intermediate tire. DRS, I think, was just disabled. That's Kelsey's diving in. Picks up a speeding penalty. Easy to do here at Canada. Let's hop on board with Jesper. So we have Jesper on the intermediates versus Tar Heels on softs that are warmed up now. So this will be the tell as to which tire is faster. It looks like Kelsey's and, let's see. Oh my goodness, they're all going on to inters. Let's see if we can get a run here. So from the top down, Kelsey's on the intermediates coming out now. There's G. Ennis on the intermediates, Jesse Force on the intermediates, Adria on the intermediates, Turtle Hopper, and Ennis all going on to the intermediates. That's Rusty on the intermediates. Dr. Fleek also going on to intermediate tires. So drivers have decided this is the time to make the move. Now, when Kelsey's took into the box, I think he was just less than a second. Actually, he was less than a second ahead of Victor. So we'll see. Kelsey's actually closing fast on Cali Rob. Missed another Kelsey's overtake. Sorry, Kelsey's. He's ran a little wide there, but I don't think he'll get a warning for that one because it was pretty slow speed. But the hard tires not serving Cali Rob and Tetcher any good at this point. Same for Shep. I expect we'll see them come in. Right, so Victor's decided to carry on. He doesn't want the wet tire. GK Base picking up a speeding penalty has gone into the pit lane. So we'll see how Kelsey's improves over GK Base here. Slips and slides, but does get it in. Tetcher's picked up a speeding penalty. Kelsey's has passed GK Base with plenty of time. So now we'll just watch the gap between Victor and Kelsey's. I don't exactly know the pit delta. Maybe I can get a little bit more help in the booth with that one. Haven't done my research. But right now the gap is 17 seconds and dropping. Well, maintaining, dropping, slowly dropping. So we'll see if Kelsey's is going to be able to catch Victor. I think Kelsey's will be able to overtake Victor when Victor finally goes into the pit lane. But we'll see how long it's going to take him to make that decision. I'm not exactly sure the motivation for staying out longer on the mediums. Maybe he's going to try to make one set of intermediates last the entire race, which I think is possible, but I don't know that it's ideal. GK Base picking up another penalty. Kelsey's going oh so slow down in fourth gear. Right, so there's Victor into the pit lane. We'll ride aboard. There's Kelsey's going by. So yeah, no problem for Kelsey's with the overtake on Victor there. Oh, that's Tar Heels. Apologies. Yeah, Kelsey's no problem making the overtake. That's Victor coming out. He needs to be careful. He doesn't want to go too fast. Actually, Victor holds position over Kelsey's. Amazing. I had the prediction wrong the whole time. So Victor knows exactly what he's doing. He's out on the soft tires. He just needs to be careful because he doesn't have he's missing the 2 laps worth of experience in these exact conditions on this tire that Kelsey's has. So Victor just needs to be careful with it, but I think he will be fine. Turtle Hopper has dropped out of the session. We're going to see if we can help him out real quick. Want to give each driver a fair chance at being able to be in the race. There he is. Right, so we'll leave that invite with him and we'll go from there. We'll catch back up with Victor, who's pulled out over a second on Kelsey's now. Not that we have the DRS, but it's still a notable time. Let's get back on board with Ennis. He's closing up on Turtle Hopper, who has some kind of connection issue at the moment. Let's drop back and check out Rusty. Now, Rusty, I would expect to see him do well in the wet conditions. We'll see what Rusty can do on Dr. Fleek here. Rusty using just a little bit of battery to get off the apex there. I see a yellow. I think we've had a tangle up ahead here. That's GK Base, who has spun away from the lead. So it'll be unfortunate for him. He'll be looking to fight back to recover that. That's Jesper out of the race. That may be a pit lane retirement. I'm not sure where. Where is Jesper? Yeah, Jesper, it looks like to be a pit lane retirement. So, car is still going to come back out on track, which is a little unfortunate, but that's okay. So Kelsey's still running pretty close behind Victor, but now with the wet tires, it seems like the drivers have spaced out a good bit. Tar Heel's driving for his life, trying to avoid being lapped by Victor. But Tar Heel's not feeling too much stress. I believe Tar Heel's is a Tier 1 regular, so being overtaken by a premier driver in a race where you haven't had the greatest of luck, not too big of a deal. That's GK Base going in. I'm sure he needs a front wing. And serving that speeding penalty right there. So GK Base has gone from the race hero down to a race 0, having dropped back off of the podium. Victor, in the meantime, has become the race hero with all the overtakes there. We see Turtle Hopper coming back into the session, so grateful for that. And we'll see him coming back into the car, how well he's able to hold off Tetcher. Hasn't rejoined the car yet, but you want to kind of pick the right moment to do that. You can overtake the car in the wrong spot. There he goes. He's now got it. That's about when I would have hopped back into. So is the Amon diving into the pits? Is that for a win, or does he just want some fresh tires? Looks like he just wanted the fresh tires. Understandably so. Amon's going to be having to, or sorry, Zeman. I don't know why I see an A there. But Zeman's going to have to be giving up positions to the leader, giving up track position. Quick check of our podium. They're all still separated. Let's hop back to some that are a little less separated, like Tetcher and Turtle. Let's see, does Turtle have decent heat in the tires? It's okay, not bad. So this should be a good race. Oh, that's Base, who's retired into the pit lane. His heart was broken when his car was broken, and he has decided to retire them both. So we'll watch this battle here between Tetcher and Turtle. Only Turtle. Turtle only. We'll come down the back straight. I do see the sky is starting to clear up a little bit. So we may end up back on dry tires before this one is completely over. Approaching the halfway point right about now. Excuse me. And Tetcher's retired. What's happened here? Let's see if Rusty can give us a view. I think he's just put it into the pit lane. He may have had some other business he needed to attend to. So we will go out and see who else we have running. So we've got Shep and Rusty and Mr. Moist Fish. I need to remind myself here about some driver standings. Right, so I believe then that makes this a three-way battle here between tiers. We have Rusty from Tier 1 leading Shep from Tier 2, leading Moist from Premier Tier. And Moistfish is going to cruise right on past Shep. Shep will be looking to fight back on that one, but in the meantime, Rusty's going to pull away from both of them while they fight. Let's hop on board with Jesse up here in 4th position, looking to get up on that podium to get around the Ferrari of G. Ennis. Both drivers getting through there quite smoothly. And Jesse just closing up little bit by little bit. Most drivers seem to be holding station right now. It seems to be more of a battle of survival, with the exception of Moist Fish, who pulled around Shep and looks to be doing the same on Rusty here. I don't think he's going to have time before they go through the chicane. But if he can get a better exit, which it looks like he might, he's going to look to throw it on the inside. That's not advisable. Rusty's going to give him the space, though. So now that's Moist around Shep and Rusty. Jesse forces closed up on G. Ennis. We'll see if we can catch this battle. I think Jesse wanted the inside. G. Ennis was going to leave it for him, but he wasn't going to leave him much room to make the corner. Corner, turn, both. So now Jesse been moved back just a little bit from the close running there. And that is G. Ennis getting into the pit lane. No speeding penalty. Well done. And G. Ennis, I think, is going to pick up another pair of intermediate tires here. No, G. Ennis going to the full wets. Really? That is an interesting move. I don't think we were in full wet conditions. It does look like, looking back at our weather report, that the rain will increase to a certain amount and then will start to taper off towards the end of the race. The rain may stop, but the track may not necessarily be dry, so we'll keep an eye on G. Ennis here. Pitted with Jesse about 4/10 behind, and G. Ennis already struggling a little on the wet tires. Starting to lose, definitely not his brother, the other Ennis. We'll see if anybody else bites for the wet tires. Car's getting ready to come around one more time here. Yeah, driver's looking to stay on the intermediates for now. Don't see anybody else taking the wets. The G. Ennis closing up on the other Ennis, who's decided to go into the pit lane. G. Ennis thought about going around the arrows there, but no dice. And the other Ennis going on to the wet tire saw G. Ennis catching him and thought maybe the wet tire is the right move. We'll see a yellow just up ahead. That will be, what, Adri, who has had a little spinneroony on the intermediates. Oh, Adri's off. That looks to be maybe Tar Heel's off. Yeah, so drivers starting to struggle on these intermediates. I don't hear the engines revving as much as they were before. So we may see some drivers coming in for the wet tire. G. Ennis may have made a wise move, one that may put him towards the front of the pack here. We'll see how the pit lane deltas shape up. He's not quite closing on Adri at the moment, but he's not really losing either. Now he's starting to close. Some of these drivers really struggling to get it off the line here. That's Kelsey's in, I'm assuming, for the wet tire. We'll see what he's got lined up for him here at Red Bull. That's the wet tire. Jesse staying out, but Adri coming in for the wet tire. So we'll see G. Ennis. Will he be able to get around both of them? I think so. Yeah, there he goes, cruising by. So now we'll see if G. Ennis can catch up to Jesse and Victor. Looks like we've had some spin back in the hairpin back there, but we're going to stay on board with G. Ennis. See how well he can put these wet tires to work. Victor and Jesse choosing to stay out on the intermediates, but G. Ennis is catching up Jesse a little more and more all the time. So G. Ennis maybe with a strategy call that could earn him a well position in the race. Zeman has dipped out of the session, I believe. I think he's retired in the pit lane as well, because I don't see another Haas out on the track. So G. Ennis coming down, Victor staying out on the intermediates. He's still got confidence in them. Jesse closed up on him by about half a second, and G. Ennis closed up on Jesse by about a second. So not sure that's going to be the best move, but then again, I doubted Victor last time on a changeover, and he ended up being right. So we'll stick with it. We'll see what these guys can do. Turtle Hopper coming in from the inters. Maybe Victor's thought process is if he can survive this heavy rain session on the intermediates until it starts drying out, he can save a pit stop, and maybe Jesse's thinking too. It's not necessarily a bad thought. The only problem is by the time you found out if you're right or wrong, it's a little too late to make a change. G. Ennis and Victor also both Ferrari drivers, so maybe working together, talking weather, figuring what is the best way to go about this. There is somewhat of a dry line formed out there. So G. Ennis he's closed a lot more on this go-around than he has on the previous ones. So surprised to not see Victor coming in now. And Jesse's actually closed up. Jesse continues to close on Victor, so not sure if Victor is tiptoeing intentionally or if Jesse just thrives in the rain. I'm not quite sure here. Most drivers have gone to the wets. Cali Robb is staying out on the inters so far. He's fine with the conditions. Doesn't want to add a pit stop to his race time. Looks like Moist Fish has chosen the same, and Steinmine there towards the back end. We've lost 4 drivers from the race so far. I'm willing to bet we will lose probably 1 or 2 more with these conditions. But we'll see how she goes. This looks like Dr. Fleek and Cali Robb battling. And Fleek making it happen. We'll see if Cali Robb can catch him though. Cali Robb seems determined. And Dr. Fleek seems to be on the better tire. While multiple 3-second penalties coming in, we'll pull up the penalty screen a little bit later in the race. We'll check it right at the end here. Kelsey's looking to close up on G. Ennis, who has pretty much eliminated the gap between himself and Jesse. And Jesse also closing the gap up on Victor. Not entirely sure how Victor's been losing time to Jesse. Their tires are about the same pace, and Victor had very strong pace earlier in the race, so not entirely sure where Victor's pace has gone. Maybe the wet makes him a little nervous. I mentioned we would lose one more driver. I think it's going to be one of these three between Giannis, Calces, and Adri. They are all running close in wet conditions. It's what you have to do if you want to get an overtake, but it is also a recipe for disaster. So, Jesse Force picking up another 3-second penalty. That will not help him stay on the podium. Victor may be going a little slower in an attempt to keep it clean because he does have a penalty advantage over some of the other drivers there. Is that a left end plate? That is a left end plate missing from the car of Giannis, so good explanation as to why Calces has caught him. We'll keep an eye on this from Calces' point of view. Giannis looking to make the move on Jesse Force and gets it done. Oh, and they're all so close. Jesse Force takes some evasive action there. That's going to leave room for Calces, but more so it's left room for Adri. Adri trying to get something done. Oh, he goes up the inside of Jesse. That's a good move. That'll stick. And now Giannis has caught his teammate Victor. So it's like I said, you don't know if you've made the right or wrong choice until it's too late, and I think it's become too late for Victor. The wet tire drivers are starting to overtake him with gusto. And right now, Victor is just trying to hold up these other drivers, give his teammate a good opportunity to get away. He just doesn't have the grip. Calces cruises right around him, no problems. Adri's going to be next on the list, going up the inside of Victor as well. So that's Victor down into 4th position. Adri, not having any penalties, will secure that spot away from Victor with the other drivers. Not entirely sure. I'm not going to do the math at the moment. We're just going to watch the race. Looks like that is Cali Rob into the pit lane for just a fresh set of inters, taken through the last little stint of the race here. Jesse Force starting to close up on Victor now. So Victor really in danger pace-wise. Granted, everyone behind him has penalties. Let's see. So right now, Giannis, Calces, and Adri starting to move ahead on the wet tire. They've really cleared the gap back to Victor. And Victor is under threat from Jesse. Let's see how this helps shape the championship. Looks like we're missing some premier results, so we'll go on missing the results of the last race, no problem. Calces right now, another podium would really help him out. The only time he's missed out on a podium was Singapore. Victor would have been looking for a win here that would have helped close the gap and maybe boost him over. Well, probably not in this race, but it would have helped close the gap to Calces. So Victor currently running second in the Premier Tier Championship. He's pulled a little bit of a gap on Jesse, who's actually dropped back now to Ennis on the wet tire. So Victor right now just kind of in survival mode, hoping to hold as many drivers behind him as possible. Moist Fish a little out of contention down in 11th right now, but 3rd in the championship. And Jesse looking to make an impact. Currently has 1 podium from Singapore. Looks like Inez getting ready to close on Victor there, and does so. Adri running third. Adri currently sits 8th in the championship, having missed quite a few races and having won podium before. So Adri right now is going to be looking to make a bit of an impact on the championship here on his own. GNS, Calces, and AG have been running within a second of each other for most of the wet tire stint, but no overtakes between the three of them yet. Not sure if they are biding their time for the end of the race, or if they just can't quite close those gaps on each other. The wet tire certainly proving its worth. We've got 5 laps to go. I don't know if the track's going to dry out enough to where the intermediates will return to being superior. Most of the intermediate drivers have very old intermediates anyway. So it looks like the wet tire will be the one to stay on. Let's catch back up with Calces, who is ever closer on GNS. Will he get the opportunity to make the overtake? We'll see. Calces right now leading this championship. Doesn't really want to make too many mistakes. But at the same time, a win would really help boost him over Victor, who's just been overtaken by Dr. Fleek. Falls down to 6th position. Calces right up behind GNS. We'll see them coming down the straight here. Calces doesn't have much battery left, but using what he does have. GNS has a little more, using it for defense, and Adri with the most battery of the three, but sitting behind, getting a good slipstream though. Ooh, Calces may have tapped the wall there a little bit. Either way, he's gotten loose, and now he's going to have to focus on defending from Adri more so than attacking GNS. Adri is pushing, but so far not having any success. These wet conditions on this track, which is a little tight, is very difficult. You certainly don't want to throw away a race at this point, especially when all three of these drivers have a good amount to gain. GNS, I think, is actually subbing in, reserving in. Let's see. GNS actually hails from T1, so a win right now would bring him great confidence and bragging rights, and be all well for him going into the next race. How's he doing in his own championship? Sits 3rd, so right now this is actually good practice for him. And Tetra and Base, also from T1, they've retired already. So right now, Calces' championship, actually, I don't believe... Well, it's not under threat from GNS anyway, because GNS isn't in this championship. But it is less points for him to take home. So, it looks like they got a little into each other there. That corner is always tricky. The gaps are even between all drivers here. They were close to even. Now Adri's fallen back a little bit. Oh, that's Kelsey's throwing it down the inside. It was a little bit of a ballsy move, and it didn't pay off. Actually, now put him even closer into Adri's grasp. Adri will cede the position, but if we take a look at penalties, Adri can afford to do that because both drivers ahead of him have 6 seconds. So that puts Adri effectively into the lead of the race from where he's sitting. No need to make a crazy overtake at the moment. Kelsey's really closing up into Giannis. He wants that win. Of course, Adrian's going to steal the win away from him no matter what, so I guess for Kelsey it's more of an on-track thing. It's closing, but just isn't going to have that speed, and he wants to be careful. You don't want to punt Giannis, because then your penalty will take you even further down the grid. He's looking for the inside again, this time a little less aggressively, and Giannis has ceded the position. Giannis is going to run out of track here. Kelsey's left him some room, but he's going to scoot in front. No, he can't. No, Giannis has kicked on the battery. Kelsey's is totally out of it. So Kelsey's will sit behind Giannis for yet another lap. We're coming down to the final lap here. The white flag will fly. And clearly the race will not get dry. So we'll watch these guys finish up here. We'll watch this battle for the podium. But right now, Giannis and Kelsey's battling over second position as Adri will take the win so long as he does not have any spins. I promise I'm not attempting to rhyme these. They're just coming out that way. Oh, Kelsey's with a little spin there. Is Adri going to take advantage? No. Adri's going to sit back and just be patient. Let the race come to him. As Kelsey's going to make one last dive into the hairpin. He's going to throw it on the inside. He does get it slowed down. Giannis gives him room. Kelsey's has it, but Giannis has way more battery than Kelsey's at the moment. Kelsey's is going to use that battery. It's not going to be... Oh, he blocks him on the inside, but it's not going to matter. Giannis is going to get that position done. Kelsey's gave it his best, but was not able to get Giannis. So Giannis... Oh, wait. It's not over. Okay, now it's over. Giannis will take the on-track win, but Adri takes the win overall by keeping it clean and avoiding the penalties there. Ennis will follow, and I think will hold fourth position, no problem. Dr. Fleek just behind, but I believe, I don't know the gap. Looks like Victor will probably be behind Dr. Fleek, yep. And Jesse finishing just behind Victor. AD Shep has pulled it away from Rusty Oil Can, and Rusty with those penalties will put him behind Shep, regardless of their on-track finishing position. Moist Fish, if he can close that 1.5 second gap to Turtle Hopper on the back straight, which I don't think he can. If he were able to, he would get a position, but for now, I think they will hold station. And right now, it just comes down to Cali Rob and Steinmine. Really the last one's in a battle for it. And Steinmine was 6 seconds and Cali Rob was 0. I think Cali Rob is going to get the position away from Stein here. Tar Heels already finished the race. Well done, reserving up, finishing the race even though being a lap down. And that will be your race with Adri taking the win. Well done to Adri. Fought hard, kept it clean. Inez will take driver of the day. Well done to the Williams driver. Wants to hear a little more applause for his efforts. He says, I kept it clean, no penalties. Deserves all the applause. So well done to the Williams squad. Well done to GNS for fighting his way up from Tier 1, reserving up into the Premier Tier race and bringing home second. So we'll take a quick run through the top 10. That's Adri, GNS, Calces, Ennis, Dr. Fleek, Victor, Jesse Force, AD Shep, Rusty Oil Can, and Turtle Hopper will round out the top 10 of this race. So I want to thank you for riding along with me here at the Canadian Grand Prix. This has been round 7 of the Performance Racing League in Premier Tier. My name is Tac Delta. Thank you for joining us. If you sit tight, you'll be joined by, who do we have? I believe it is Femi and Share or Shaft will be covering the Tier 1 race. Let's see if that's correct. It is. So they will be covering the next race for you. I will leave you in their capable hands. Everyone, have a good rest of your day.